It is June 23rd, 2024. Right off the rip, know why you're here. And I'm going to leave it at that. So, I had a specific thing that I want to talk about, which I still am. But this weird. Ooh, I got glitter. Anyways, the energy is really wonky right now. Time feels really wonky right now. I don't know what's going on. But make sure you are protecting yourself spiritually. Make sure, just, your spiritual hygiene, just make sure it's, it just intact because, yeah, something is about to come to a head. I'm not trying to speak fear or anything or I'm not trying to speak fear or anything, but I know if I notice things around me and I'm feeling energies and I know I can't be the only one. So if I'm noticing it, I'm sure others are noticing it as well. So, just keep your spiritual eye open, your head, the back of your neck, just, yeah. So, okay. So today, I posted something about fear, and it really kind of set the tone for what I'm about to talk about. I got to the point where I had to write it out, and I'm going to basically read from it and divert from it when I need to. But it really, touched me in a way. I was like, you know what, this stood out to me for a reason. So let's talk about it. And it's going to be, what I'm going to talk about is going to be personal to me. Because again, I can only speak for myself and my accounts. So yeah, let me just go ahead and get started. December 2022, I felt and heard the most important thing I needed to make my life's journey, which has also included my spiritual journey, pick up and take flight. I was in the beginning of my personal campaign for peace, expiring all people, places, old thinking patterns, you name it, all was done for. I was done feeling a type of way and being punished by my own jacked up karma, and then some. A conversation with my niece started it all. She has always marched to the beat of her own drum. Her name, which I will not disclose, literally means against the wind. She's strong-willed and driven, not to be confused with being stubborn or hard-headed. We talked about our lives, and it was a safe space. She spoke of not having fear of trying new things. This chick is literally a nomad, so you definitely can't have fear of being a nomad. Trying new things or just no fear in general. That set the gears in motion. I was like, here I am, 37 years young, and wasn't living my life on my terms. Listening to her aspirations and accomplishment, I felt so inspired by her, and she's in her 20s. Listening to what she had to say in her life stories and her encounters, and it really just put a fire under me. Like, I was like, here this young woman is, who is younger than me, and she has never been afraid to do her own thing. Even if she has to bump her head, she is on her own path, and she does not allow anything to stop her. And I was like, from that point, I want to be just like that. Not necessarily just like her, but I wanted to be just like that. Fear is an ugly disease. It keeps you up at night. It ages you. It makes you sick, complacent, long story short, low vibrational. This is not coming from judgment because everything I mentioned is my experience. Once I was ready to shed fear in the places that it darkened in my life, it allowed me to create boundaries, set standards, and guidelines when it came to interacting with others, which looked like my motto. If it ain't peace, I don't want it. If it ain't genuine, I don't want it. If it doesn't feel good, I don't want it. If I have to make it make sense on my own. And I really feel like I've already kind of talked about this, but I'm tying now, using the same story and tying in the subject of fear. And keep your friends close and the others away, far away. Is that far away? Far away. This was something new for me, so naturally I was a bit nervous. Fear in thinking, well, what if I have to apply this to someone close to me? If they were toxic, I had to. Fear in starting my channel because what if someone tries to challenge me or have something negative to say? Not gonna lie, it helped me for a bit. I started a channel but then I backed out. So initially I started a channel, and I talked about this before, and I backed out. But I still felt the pull, the calling. And then October 1st, 333 Onyx Fire was born. To this day, I feel that the first attempt was just a practice run, just to get me comfortable in front of the camera, speaking to the camera. Because for the longest, I mean, even in the beginning days of this channel, it still felt weird to just talk to a camera. I pushed past all of the what ifs and just did the damn thing. I couldn't defeat myself nor create the negativity. I couldn't defeat myself. I didn't want to defeat myself nor create the negativity that I was fearful of before I even tried. Plus, I get way more spiritual attack attempts than I get, the stuff that I'm fearful of. Go figure, right? Which I don't worry about the spiritual attacks. My spiritual protection is loaded. So doing this, I already knew what was going to come with it. So if you're deciding, hey, you know what, I'm inspired, I want to do my own channel and I want to be prepared, always protect yourself. Prep yourself before getting on camera. Prep yourself, protection for yourself, protection for the viewers, just all the way around. Because trust me, if you're out here really speaking the truth and speaking your truth, there's always going to be something that does not like that, and it is what it is. And just know that things are going to come with this. So my advice, before I move forward, my advice is, just build a relationship with your spiritual guide, your spirit team, your protective angels, your just build that relationship. I mean, granted, they're already there. Give them the permission, create that relationship and build on it. Oh, again, which I don't worry about. My spiritual protection is loaded. Then I found out that work watches me. Thanks, Spirit. I found out that work watches me, and that's fine. Know why you're here. And that's a fair warning to all. But that wasn't a fear of mine, and it's crazy how spirit informed me. And they kind of outed themselves even afterwards. Even after I found out. So again, there's nothing that's done that's ever truly hidden. If you know, if you know, you just know. I'm gonna still be me regardless whether there's a hate campaign launched against me. Team Go Keisha. Curious to see what this is about crew. I welcome it all because I have an assignment to complete. Nothing and no one, says the Most High. I speak my truth while attracting my tribe to heal, help, and inspire. I show the good, bad, ugly, right, and the wrong, clearly. I have in my divinity side, a pretty girl side, a keeping it straight, no chaser, I use bad language side, a my heart is bleeding, passionate side, and finally, the less talked about, the sinister side. And I have to love on her a lot because she can be fueled by, it could be viewed in her eyes as a good cause, but the way that she can go about things can really be detrimental, not only to herself but to others as well, just because I am doing my what's the word I want to use, I am doing just basically feeling like, okay, I'm going, for example, if it's a friend that's being pushed around and this friend just don't want to do nothing, and it's like, you know what, fuck it, flipping the table over, let me at them where they at. That's like the center side is also kind of like a little Scrappy Doo, but Scrappy Doo always got held back. That side of me will not be held back. When everything done got knocked off the table, that switch done got flipped up, it's over with. It's over with. If you don't catch her, she gone, and she going to go after whatever on behalf of who and what she loves. And so I have to love on her and not try to make her out to be a villain, because what she's doing is out of passion. Now the bleeding heart part, there's just two different sides. The bleeding heart is just out of love and just an open heart. The sinister side is it's because of the heart, but it's anger, it's anger and it's love. Saying all that to say, multiple personalities or characters, if you will. This I will talk about. So I'm going to take the pen out of this because this is a video that I deleted because I was fearful of how that would make me look. And hold on, let me get back on here. Fearful of how that will look or sound, but fuck it. Truth is definitely stranger than fiction. We all have multiple personalities or characters. And if you say you don't, you're lying. Click off, go away. Think about it. You may have someone who, for example, a person who may not like other races. I don't want to name call because I wrote it out, but I'm going to deviate from it. A person who might be, just doesn't want to mix with people that don't look like them. And they're like, oh, well, in a situation, where they would feel if they knew the real them, that they would be outcasted, judged. So they put on this mask or this characteristic or this personality in front of whomever that would, frown upon that side of them. But then when they take the mask off around their community that has the same views of them, then they be either, well, I want to say they become it, because we all have different personalities, whatever. Maybe that's the real them in this instance. I don't know. I don't know it all, but this is just how I am interpreting it. I'm trying to interpret it, how I view it. But anyways, so when they get around who's comfortable with them, who has these same viewpoints, then they feel like they can be themselves. And then, so you, different personality traits, different characters. So think about it. And I embrace the fact that that's, that example aside, I embrace the fact that I have many sides to me. And to love me is to put them all together, and this is what you get. So, yeah, I was fearful of that. And I don't worry, because if you aren't in tune with yourself, and if you have not completely accepted yourself, in my opinion, because I don't want to get off again as a know-it-all, because this is actually kind of touching into like a different topic that I want to discuss, but we're getting there. Let's see here. See, I went on and on in this writing, but anyways, I want to say this. Even though we can't all be fearless 100% of the time, remember this quote, and it's not my quote. If you can't beat fear, do it scared. So I kind of deviated a lot from what I wrote. I just decided to just kind of at that point when I was, but anyways, so I want to say this, first off, let me apologize if I came off a bit egotistical when it comes to giving my point of view or my opinion. I don't want to make it seem like I am just, my nose is in the air and I am snooty, because I feel like, I'm just above this. And it took me seeing it. Let me say this. So what I posted about being humbled, I feel like watching that humbled me, because I felt like maybe I was a bit guilty of, coming off maybe a bit egotistical, wholeheartedly, just like, man, like, is this me? Like, could I? Because I'm watching this for a reason. So, and then the title itself pulled me in. So, I really felt like that was spirit saying, hey, Keish, come on, let's sit down. Let's talk about this. We're not trying to chastise you, but there's a way to go about and present. So I want, and that's why I always, I say, okay, well, I don't need to explain myself, but that's the reason why I feel like, and so maybe I need to go back to explaining myself, because, I don't want anyone to ever come over here and be like, oh, well, she said this, but look at how this, she said, I'm trying to get my words, y'all. Hold on. She said this, and she's just so, I don't know. I don't know. I can't really get the outside looking in point of view, but I always want to be I will always want whatever I put out to digest easily in the spirit. I don't want to ever seem like I'm just I don't know, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But I'm just going to moving forward, definitely in my opinion, and maybe try to be maybe a little bit more humble, when I'm giving my opinion, of I know, even though I know what works for me, and I always say that as, just a default, because everyone's life path is different. What may look wrong to me might actually be a setup for success, as I've previously have talked on. And I got that lesson again watching that, and I'm like, you know what, that is completely right, and I accept it. And I am grateful for the message. I am grateful for the messenger. I am grateful for spirit for giving the messenger the message to deliver. Sorry, y'all. So it was supposed to be a message. So the second part of it was supposed to be a message about ego. And, I just, let me say, I don't, so I'm apologizing, I don't, if I ever came off to a viewer, as, and it kind of rubbed you the wrong way, I apologize for how that came across to you. If in the event that it just did not, the delivery was not correct, because there is also, in my opinion, there is such a thing as, okay, well, if it rubbed you the wrong way, I mean, explore the fact that maybe this might have been something for you, because that's how I knew something was directly for me, when I had to, this made me feel a type of way. No, this ain't me. No. And that's how it was when I was listening to that message, when I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna click off. But no, I was like, no, you keep watching. No, you keep watching. And sure enough, there was my lesson. So I give, my take, but I also invite you to really dig in your heart and your spirit and see, well, what is this I'm feeling? Is this conviction, like I really need to explore this? Or is it just, oh, well, there she go being egotistical? And if that's your opinion, then I respect it. And, just know that, I do the best I can to deliver whatever it is that I have to say, and definitely without malicious intent. And, I have my moments, because I am not perfect. I am not. But just know that everything that I give here, I truly and genuinely, wholeheartedly hope that it may help someone, that it may inspire someone, just ultimately just to be, I want to be a help in the best way I can. But please know that I'm human too, and I don't know it all, and I fuck up sometimes, and I may not use the best language, but spirit knows that, God knows that. And not that I don't want to be better or fix it, but you got to take the good with the bad. And my heart is definitely in the right place. It may be a little rough, I'm a rough around the edges, but trust and believe, when you cut them rough edges out, I'm just as smooth, just as chill, just as it is without the ridges. So, okay. Yeah. Take time to watch that. I really got something from it, and I really do hope that you do too as well. In the meantime, stay in perfect peace, or as close to perfect as you can.